What's going on, everyone? My name is Twig, and today we're going to be talking about my review of Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. I finished my playthrough and obtained all achievements yesterday on the day of release, but by the time you're seeing this video, it should be Thursday if I get it edited and uploaded on time. I completed the game in one sitting, which the game isn't super long at all, so this can easily be done, especially if you play the missions on easy or medium difficulty like I did. At this current time, the price of the game is $29.99, and it took me roughly around 5 to 6 hours to complete. To get some intro stuff out of the way, I've started reviewing games at a 100% by putting reviews on Steam as well as reviews in video format here on YouTube. I'm currently sitting at 632 perfect games on Steam, so if you would like to follow along on my journey to 700, feel free to subscribe or add me on Steam. My profile is public, so you can check out what games I'm currently working towards or games that I've already finished. Please like this video if you're a fan of Star Wars, and sit back, relax as we discuss my experience and thoughts on this awesome game. First off, I think it's important to talk about some of the benefits that you get with this remastered version versus the original. If you didn't know, Dark Forces was originally released back in 1995 for MS-DOS and Macintosh, and then was released a year later in 1996 for PlayStation. The events that take place in this game are technically a part of the expanded universe and are not considered canon, but what is really cool is that this game was developed and published by LucasArts using their signature Jedi game engine, which was specifically designed for this game. During that time, Doom was really popular, and the thirst for Star Wars content was pretty high given the movies that came out, and nothing was really going on with the franchise, so they developed this game. The remaster was done by Night Dive Studios, who has also remastered games such as the Turok series, which I still want to play. This remastered version is released on almost every platform, consoles and PC. They have done an insanely good job not only bringing in HD graphics and higher resolutions, but re-rendering the cutscenes, creating real 3D environments, updating the controls, and just bringing the game to the next level to create an enjoyable retro experience. There is also some bonus content added like concept art, game development info, cutscene development info, the pre-rendered images that are pretty cool to look at, and then the main bonus material was probably the inclusion of this bonus level that you can play, which was apparently a work in progress level that was originally a demo mission that you could play, and it was used to showcase the game at like events and stuff. As for the setting, you play as a rebel operative named Kyle Katarn, who was a former Imperial officer that defected to the rebellion. If you're unfamiliar with Star Wars, basically he was working for the bad guys and then he came to work for the good guys, which they do mention this in the cutscenes during the story of the game. To give you a kind of time period if you're a Star Wars fan, this game's story is basically leading up to the events of A New Hope, which is the original first Star Wars film. There is a ton of backstory on all the characters in this game, like why the main character came to work for the rebellion, but we won't go into a ton of detail here just because there's so much information on it. But basically, the rebels hire you and your partner named Jan to recover the plans to the Death Star, and while you're on your mission, you learn that there is not only the threat of the Death Star looming, but a rumor of a secret Dark Trooper project that involves the development of a series of powerful new battle droids and power-armored troopers. Dark Forces is a first-person shooter where you fight against various creatures and characters from the Star Wars universe while also completing various puzzles along the way. One of the coolest things I liked about the game was how it followed a central storyline that was outlined in the mission briefings and cutscenes. You read your mission briefing, you take a look at your objectives, and then you're off. Two of the huge gameplay enhancements that Night Dive Studios added, in my opinion, were the free mouse look ability that we've come to expect in gaming today, and the ability to turn off head bobbing in the settings. Believe it or not, free mouse look wasn't a thing in the original game. You had to use like the page up and page down keys to look up and down instead of just aiming with your mouse. And you all probably know what head bobbing is from playing Minecraft. There are a ton of customizable options like reticle color, HUD display, gunfire effects, and a ton more. I know my brother would definitely turn his field of view slider all the way up. I didn't expect there to be a ton of weapons in the game, but by the end I had like 10 different options to use with different ammo types depending on the weapon. The blaster sounds and jumping sounds are music to my ears. It sounded like the same jumping sound from Shadows of the Empire, so if anybody's out there played both games, let me know what you think about that. There are 14 missions in total. The first one took me just a few minutes to complete, whereas a few later ones took me forever to figure out like some of the puzzles involved. I'm just trying to keep this review spoiler free as possible, but there was this one area in like a giant circle where the doors open up to get to the center, and you have to figure out the combination on the door switches to allow you to go deeper into the circle, and it literally almost drove me crazy trying to figure that out. I will say, if you like Doom, which is almost everyone does, then you'll like this game. Doom set such a high standard, and LucasArts took that FPS standard and tried to put their own twist on it with a nice combat system, traversal mechanics, and multi-step puzzles. The achievements were all very easy to obtain. I don't even know if there were any missable ones. Achievements are new to the remastered version of the game, and it's really what pushed me to get it day one and review it as soon as possible. With 29 total achievements, you obtain all of them just by progressing through the game. You usually unlock one for missions ending, special events happening throughout the story, or when you pick up key items to progress the levels. If you don't want the story to be spoiled for you, I don't recommend looking at the achievements list. Just know if you do have to load a level back to pick something up to unlock the achievement, there is a level select menu where you can do just that. It just feels good to be done with the achievements when the story is done. When I look at this game as a whole, I loved it. You could probably tell, but I'm a huge supporter of remastering older video games. There are a ton of games even released around 2008 or so that I would love to see get a remaster and achievements added, such as Fallout 3. Star Wars Dark Forces was a little before my time, so I'm glad this game was shown the love and given the polish it needed. My 5 to 6 hours with this game was a great time, and I'll probably go back and play through it again whenever my brother has time to play through it. The one divisive thing about this game that I've seen is the price. Is $30 too much for a remaster of an almost 30-year-old game? Only you can decide for yourself, but I can give you my point of view. Honestly, I think the price is fine, but it would just be cool to see it $5 to $10 less. The original version is available on Steam for $5.99, but if you go and compare it with the remaster, it's like night and day. This was a major overhaul of the game, and I am completely in support of bringing as many remasters to Steam as possible, so I can justify spending money to fund the studios doing this awesome work. I know some people may think it's too much, and I would say just be patient, watch some videos on it, wait for a sale because you won't regret buying it once you do. It is definitely worth it if you want to play a Doom-like game in the Star Wars universe. It has an awesome story, a great soundtrack, killer retro-style graphics, a ton of weapons, and best of all, the appearance of my favorite bounty hunter. Last night I downloaded this on my Steam Deck, booted it up to play a little, and to check out how it ran. The only thing I modified in my settings was bumping the frame rate to 90 to get the game to run as smoothly as possible. If you want to know which Steam Deck I have, I got the OLED 1TB version for Christmas, and I'm loving it. This game is verified on Steam Deck, and it just feels amazing and natural to play, as well as it looks beautiful. Once again, thank you guys for listening to my review of Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. This video is coming in right after my Helldivers 100% review, which is doing surprisingly really well, but I wanted to get this review out as quickly after release as possible. I'm currently working on getting all achievements for a few different titles, and with there being a stretch coming up of no big game releases, I may try to finish off 1 or 2 games from my backlog and review them, so we'll just see. My Steam profile is linked below, as well as my Steam curator group. If you have a game to suggest for me to 100%, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. This review was super fun to make, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.